Good morning. If you're tuning in live with us here at 7:25 a.m., we just want to say good morning to you and welcome to News in Motion. Today is Thursday, June 6th, 2024, and we have Talk Back Thursday. It's not Town Hall Thursday this week, but it's Talk Back Thursday. If you noticed last week, we had also called it Talk Back Thursday, and a lot of people were loving the segment. So we decided to keep it around for this week and have Talk Back Thursdays. But it's like Town Hall Thursdays. The moment y'all stop talking in the chat or stop asking questions, the segment is over, and we go to our inspirational message, and we sign off until next Tuesday. And here over at News and Motions, we like to call Thursdays our Friday Eves. So we still give some headline news, but we also like to keep it fun and lighthearted for the most part. Whether you're tuning in through LinkedIn, YouTube, or any audio or podcast platforms, we just want to say thank you for tuning in. For our audio and podcast people, make sure that you're keeping your eyes on the road. But if you're stationary and you're able to chat with us, please do so accordingly. Before we get started, a couple of shout outs to our viewers. Good morning to Miss Deborah Johnson. Good morning, Miss Marion Jackson. Good morning, Miss Adrian. Good morning to my mama bear, Miss Latrice Jones. Good morning, Miss Shardinia, who are all tuning in through YouTube, or as I like to say, the tubes of you. So, without further delay, you know what we do over here. We'll be right back after this brief intro.
News in Motion.
I'm always laughing when I hear that beat, and I think about you, Adrian. I just start giggling. But as Isaiah gave the shout outs already, I see you, Deborah, Marion, Adrian, Latrice Jones, Shardinia. I see you, Hester, and what's up, Kim Edmondson. Listen, I told y'all the news cycle was off the chain. So we had to make some changes after a vote on last evening because we got to talk about it on this Thursday. I don't know about you, but it's Talk Back Thursday, and I want to hear from you. So make sure you are responding and you are engaging and you're doing what you do. I should have, I think, a new friend that's been following me on TikTok. She was like, girl, it is 4:25 where I live. So if you made it in this morning, please write your name in the chat so we can welcome you. She said, okay, I need to be with y'all. I said, come on. So you can watch the replay. But she said she was going to come on here live with us. So we'll see if she can hang out with us this morning. And what's up, Lori Williams Wallace? Listen, y'all, it is Talk Back Thursday. Today is Thursday. It is June the 6th, 2024. I am your host, Gail Dudley. What's happening, everybody? How's everyone doing? All right, so late in the midnight hour, God's going to turn around. It's going to work in your favor. We hope it's going to work in our favor. Listen, y'all, the Senate Republicans, along with some Democrats, just blocked the right to contraception. Latrice Jones said, what's done happened now? So, y'all, on Wednesday, the Senate Republicans blocked a bill that would guarantee federal access to contraception with a 51-39 vote, falling short of the 60 needed. Hold on. We're gonna have a quiz. We're going to have a quick quiz. Senator Murkowski and Collins did break with the Republicans. I think they figured this is a voting year for us. We need our vote, so we're gonna hang out with the Democrats this time. And as you know, last week, Joe Manchin, West Virginia, left the Democratic Party and went to the Independent Party, which he was already voting that way anyway, so whatever. What's up, Rosanna Bivens? So the Democrats argued that it's crucial to protect against future Supreme Court rulings, while Republicans claim contraception is already protected. Hold up, wait a minute, where have we heard that before, right? So, voting rights are already protected. But here we are. All women's rights and women's bodies are already protected. But here we are. So now we come to contraception. Y'all, I don't know what it's going to take for us to really see what's happening. And if I can just be real for a moment, News in Motion at 7:25 on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday should be packed with people. Now we do have our audio listeners, and it averages somewhere about 700 people. Our replays are on the broadcast are good with the video, but live we should be on here clicking like, what's she talking about today? Because we need to know what's really happening today. So y'all, that's what's happening. So this happened. This is Senate Bill 4381. 4381. And again, this is going to be in a Friday rundown so you can read it for yourselves. The Senate voted Wednesday to block the bill to create a federal right to contraception access after many Republicans said they oppose the legislation as unnecessary and government overreach. Say what? How often are you overreaching? Did you not overreach with women's rights to life? Like seriously, did the government not overreach with voting rights? Did the government not overreach with, we'll get there in a moment, pausing the trial in Georgia after 19 jurors said, yeah, we want this to go to trial? That's not overreach. It's not overreaching that you're changing all the ballot measures. That's not overreach. You're overreaching every day. So now all of a sudden you want to overreach? Like that's what you want to do? All right, let's keep going. So the Democrats forced a vote. Kim Edmondson says they overreach with everything. Listen. So the Democrats yesterday forced a vote on whether to begin the work on the legislation. Now, quiz time. There's no gifts, but quiz time. Check this out. Do y'all remember here on News in Motion, it's probably about a year, maybe 2 years ago, we talked about the closure rule. CLOTURE. Who out here, especially if you have if you're driving, you just keep driving and say, yep, I got it right and keep on going. But put in the chat, I'm going to give you a few moments to put in the chat what that means. Don't y'all cheat. Don't go to google.com or nothing like that. But what's the closure rule? CLOTURE. What is it? Because we talked about it here on News in Motion. And we talk about these types of things on News in Motion because I want you to know what's happening. So they put this out here, okay? So I'm trying to slow down and give y'all a chance to actually answer the question. So I'm going to go ahead and keep reading some of the report, but y'all go ahead and put in, what does that mean? The closure rule, CLOTURE rule. So y'all, the Democratic bill, and I'll come back and tell y'all the answer. The Democratic bill intended to put the Republicans on the spot for this election year. So Kim Edmondson says, I don't remember. It's good, but thank you for being honest saying, I don't remember. I'm going to tell you. So Senate Majority Leader Schumer, he is intentionally, y'all, finally they're playing politics. They're playing chess, really. He is putting things out there on the floor. He's forcing votes on the floor over the time they're still in office, up before their break, to show the community, look, they won't let this happen. Look, they won't let that happen. Look, they're not letting this happen. These things are happening. Adrian says it has to do with the filibuster. Kind of, sort of. You're getting close. It's getting hot in here. But so he's forcing these votes. He knew he did not have 60 votes yesterday. He knew that. But Murkowski and Collins said, we ain't falling for it. We going with the Democrats on this one. So all of this is unfolding. So here's the closure rule, y'all. The rule requires that there be 61 votes, which is 2/3 majority of the votes. And if they don't have it, then they don't progress with it. So it's you're voting to get the vote out there on the floor to move forward with the legislation. So it's called the Contraception Act that they put together. Y'all know I had to go get nosy and pull it out, right? And so the bill is to protect an individual's ability to access contraceptives and to engage in contraception, and to protect a healthcare provider's ability to provide contraception, and information related to contraception. Yes, so that word's in there 4 times in the same sentence. That's just how they write it, okay? So y'all, when you go through all the steps, They talk about contraception. They talk about contraceptive. They talk about the government and the term of government, the healthcare provider, their rules. And again, this is going to be in the Friday Rundown. If you do not subscribe to the Friday Rundown, now is the time to go sign up. After we get off the air, go to www.gaildudley.com. A pop-up box will come up. You put your email information in there. Read this for yourself. Read it for yourself. But now here's the part that just tripped me out. This is under general. So they kind of like in general threw this in here. And if those of you who are new to News in Motion, we did 2 workshops on writing a bill and reading a bill. Yeah, that's what we do here. We give you the headline news, but we also break it down so that you have a better understanding of what's going on. So when I was reading this, and y'all, this happens to a lot of us women, a lot of us. Women who have heavy cycles may take as a prescription contraception so that you're not bleeding every day. Men, I'm sorry, but it is what it is. So that you're not bleeding every day. So that you don't have an iron deficit. So that you don't pass out while you're walking down the street or driving your car or whatever. There are women who will cramp up for probably 20 days out of 31. And contraception isn't that they're trying not to have children, because when they're ready to have children, they have to come out all of that. And sometimes they can't have children because their bodies are already messed up. But they take the contraception so that they don't bleed every day. I know personal people who have to do this. Okay, I know that. There's some who take contraception for migraine headaches. Yeah, this is deeper than this. So under general, when I'm reading this, that's in there. So you're really blocking this? Like, what is happening? Come on, y'all. Stop playing politics and think about your constituents. This is in here. Y'all talking about, oh, I got it. Adrian says, look at Schumer playing chess. Latrice goes, oh, yeah, this is what's happening. So, y'all, here's the question. Why not vote for this? It's a real question. I want to hear from y'all. And I want you to read it for yourselves, but just from what I told you right there, why not vote for this? What's really happening here? So because I'm real nosy, and at this point, I'm probably being real petty. I went straight to the U.S. Senate floor because I wanted to see the votes. I just wanted to see the votes. So I'm not going to give you because that's 100 people. I'm not going to do that. But you have 10 people not voting. So not voting is a Republican from Tennessee. That's Haggerty. Not voting is Braun, a Republican from Indiana. Not voting is a Republican Brit from Alabama. Not voting is Lindsey Graham from South Carolina. Not voting is Mitt Romney, which I thought that was strange. But then I stepped back. I said, well, no, that's probably his religion, out of Utah. Not voting is Sullivan, Republican from Arkansas. Not voting is Vance, Republican from Ohio. Not voting is Menendez, Democrat from New Jersey. Thought she was in jail. Not voting is Kennedy, Republican from Louisiana. So those are the 10 who did not vote. What's up, Dr. Anthony? Yeah, Latrice, I'm straight up nosy. I want to know how these people voted. If you can't vote for Senate Bill 4381 on contraception, something wrong with you. Again, there are women, because they bleed every day. They need this to stop the bleeding. Seriously, women who don't even want to take this. So help me understand. So you have 51 yays. And then again, you had Murkowski and Collins saying, I'm going over here with the Democrats. I'm trying to get back in office. And then you have nays, 39. So they did not get the 60. And again, that was the cloture rule. That's what they put into play to force a vote to see if they're going to continue with the legislation. Again, the Republicans, and I'm not calling them out, but this Ted Cruz, he was the main one out there. Lindsey Graham, who didn't vote, was the main one out there. Others were the main ones out there. Adrian says you get paid to vote. Taxpayers pay you to do your job when you go into the chamber. We do. But here's the thing that's interesting. What is it? So again, you're saying we don't need that. Now, this came out of Ted Cruz's mouth. We don't need that. This is just fear mongering. Y'all want us to put out there that we don't want y'all to have contraception. It's already a rule. That's what you said about voting rights. That's what you said about women's rights. And we see what happened there. So this is where we're headed. Dr. Antoinette says they don't understand how our bodies work. Not at all. Not at all. And what's up, Dr. Annette Jackson? She says they are petty and politicking. What doesn't need that kind of attention? So y'all, I went and I was nosy. I just wanted to see. And I'll put this link in here as well. And this was their roll call 118th Congress second session. And just to let you know, the vote summary says the question on closure on the motion to proceed with Senate Bill 4381 vote number. This was their 190th vote. Vote date was yesterday. Late afternoon, went into the night. Required for majority, 3/5. And then the cloture motion to proceed was rejected. And so then the measure title, so that you all know, a bill to protect the individual's ability to access contraceptions and to engage in contraception and to protect healthcare providers' abilities to provide contraceptives, contraception. All my C's is getting all turned up now. I'm tongue-tied. And information related to contraception. So this is what's happening. So even with the healthcare provider, this bill was to protect them so that if they did give contraception to someone because of other issues, they wouldn't be sued or they would not lose their license. So this is what's happening. Y'all, this is on the ballot. Deborah says they don't have regard for women's health. This is contraception. So now, women will, I was like cracking up. I don't know if y'all been watching the news. Women, and I'm like, how'd y'all find that fast? Like, did Amazon come and deliver it to your house within 5 minutes? Or did you have it already ordered or what? So now women, remember the pink hats? In 2020, 2016, I don't know what date. I'm losing dates now. But now the women started wearing condoms on their heads. Like they had these real big balloons. I was like, y'all have some illustrations, okay? So they're saying if you ban that, ban this too. Like seriously. I'm like, y'all going too far. I'm just reporting the news. So, y'all, this is going to be in a Friday rundown. This is what's happening. Dr. Antoinette said, put a bill on the floor allowing or limiting Viagra. Well, there's that. So, y'all, this is what's happening. This is not just about electing a president of the United States or your council people. It has a lot. It has a lot to do with everyday living and what's really happening. So, let's move to Georgia. Oh, Georgia. Yeah, the AP is reporting as everyone else is reporting. An appeals court has halted the Georgia election interference case against former President Donald J. Trump and others while it reviews the lower court judge's ruling allowing Fulton County District Attorney Fonnie Willis to remain on the case. Let me see if I understand this. A black woman had relations with a black man on their own dime, doing their own thing, before the case even started. And as I reported yesterday, y'all spending some serious cash without even having some receipts, but you coming after Fonnie Willis. Okay. Got it. Y'all, if this is not a message that is being sent, I don't know what is. So, y'all, the appeals court has halted the Georgia election interference case against former President Donald Trump and others while it reviewed all of this information. The Court of Appeals order on yesterday prevents Fulton County Superior Court Judge Scott McAvee from moving forward with pre-trial motions as he had planned while the appeal was pending. Now, it's unlikely that the case will go to trial before November. They're now looking at March, and if Trump gets back into office, it's never going to happen. The appeal court on Monday docket is appeal filed by Trump and 8 others. It was tentatively scheduled for October the 4th. Now we're looking at that for mid-March. The Fulton County grand jury indicted Trump and 18 others, which actually moved this forward. Donald Trump election interference case was paused. It was paused. So as of yesterday, it's paused. The appeals court ordered it. They were going to look and see if Fani Willis can remain on the case. And what all this means is that the trial, won't go before the election. And the criminal cases may all just drop. And, it's frustrating. If I can just be honest with you all, when I saw that news come out yesterday, and I saw it come out early yesterday afternoon, I said, this is unbelievable. Yeah, that's what's happening. Lori says, Lord, is just a whole lot going on. I'm telling y'all, the news cycle is on and popping. She said she can't even keep up. Thank you, Gail, for keeping us up to date. Y'all, that alone is disturbing. It's disturbing. It's disturbing because I'm still mad about the Fearless Fund of the Black women awarding other Black female-owned businesses $20,000 grants because they can't get money from other places because nobody's giving them money. So now that's considered a discriminatory practice. But yet, these courts are just doing whatever they want to, when they want to, how they want to. And for those of you who do not understand this process, when you're voting, although you're not voting for these judges per se, and these appellate courts, but the president and the senators and the House, they approve these nominees and nominations. I get the nominations every time Biden administration sends to the Senate. I got them when Obama's administration sent them to the Senate. I didn't get them when Trump's administration sent them to the Senate because they cut me off of the, they were deciding who could get the information. And so if you, and there's been a lot of bipartisan, there's been a mixture of Democrats and Republicans that the Biden administration are sending to the appellate court because they're supposed to be following court and court rules and court laws, not politics. We still got to talk about Samuel Alito, the upside down flag and everything else that he's doing. He should recuse himself from that decision that's going to come out this month. We're actually waiting for it now to come out as early as next week or the following week, but it will come out in June. So all of this is happening. So when you're voting, you're also voting about who's the best person to select these judges to be set on these benches. Kim Edmondson says disturbing but expected. Dr. Annette Jackson says it's a lot and a lot of noise. What are we not hearing or seeing? That's what's happening right now. This is what's happening. So if that's not enough, let me take you to the next lineup. Yeah, I couldn't believe this. I was like, did he just interrupt the high school graduation? Did he just do that? Yeah, y'all, this man came out of the audience when his daughter was walking up on stage to get her high school diploma, and the father, a white man, the superintendent is a Black man. The white man kind of grabs the superintendent and moves him out the way so he doesn't shake his daughter's hand because he's a Black man. We do that now? Seriously? Yeah, that's what happened. It happened at Baraboo High School graduation. That's the name of the high school, Baraboo. Mm-hmm. The father of Baraboo High School graduation forcefully intervened during the school's graduation ceremony on Friday. As his daughter walked across the stage to receive her diploma, the father abruptly pulled District Superintendent Rainey Briggs away before she could shake his hand. He was wearing his white polo shirt, some jeans, and he had a baseball cap on. He ran onto stage as his daughter was getting ready to shake his hand, and he grabbed Briggs and he said out loud, "Don't touch my daughter! Don't touch my daughter!" So you can hear him, and he says, and so then you hear Briggs saying, "Get off of me! Get away from me!" The graduation staff and other people. Yeah, this is just a bunch of shenanigans, a bunch of chaos. Ran up there, and he goes, "But I don't want him touching my daughter. He's a black man." Like, we do this now. We do this now. So, y'all, following the incident, police escorted the man out of the school despite sharing the stage with other school officials. Like, y'all gotta watch the video. The video, I was watching the video going, what is happening right now? And I'm like, how much are you embarrassing your daughter? Your daughter had the right just to bypass the superintendent. Y'all should have had that conversation before. But clearly the daughter was shocked. Like, what is happening right now? She even like grabs her chest, like, what is going on? She's holding her diploma, and she finally just walks off the stage. So the police ran up there. Other people ran up there. District spokesperson said that the disorderly conduct charge has been referred to the county district office for the father. Y'all, now, you keep digging. Well, in 2018, when the students at the school was receiving, doing their class photo, y'all may remember this, they did the Nazi salute. But here's my thing. Wow, black man is the superintendent of this county? Well, something's going right there somewhere. Okay, Dr. Antoinette says they were putting people out of the auditorium for cheering for their kids at the one we went to, putting them out for cheering. Listen, they tell you not to do that. Dr. Milton Ruffin, here in Columbus, Ohio, I went to the career day graduation with Latrice and Fred Jones and Isaiah. So I went because I had to go, really be there for my nephew Isaac. And he said something. He gave a description of something he actually witnessed himself. And an older woman was seeing the first person in their family graduating. And they had said, please, no horns, no this, no that, because it's distracting to people. And so he helped her. He saw them help her stand up, the grandmother, great grandmother, whomever. And she missed the child's name, because the child before them were all of the horns and everything that was going. And he said, so I'm asking you all not to do that. Let's wait until the end and clap for everybody. And then Latrice said something to me I never thought about before, but it's true. It is true. Where some children may have, 50 people cheering. Somebody else may have no one, because maybe they're in foster care, or maybe they're homeless, or maybe you fill in the blank. So it's not fair. You hear all these cheers for, and you should have all the celebration you want for your child or your niece, nephew, brother, sister, whatever. But there may be other people that have no one. So why not cheer for everybody at the end? So yeah, thank you for sharing that. But yeah, Deborah, that is crazy. Yeah, Kim, that's what happened. Yeah, this is where we are. And I'm like, the division here in America is crazy. All right, y'all, I'm going to just switch gears just a little bit. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. And I'm talking about the Dollar Tree right now. CNBC is reporting that Dollar Tree is now thinking about, did we make a mistake buying Family Dollar? Probably. So now, after they shut about 100 stores last year, Dollar Tree's like, we need to shake them, because we're finding out after we paid $9 billion dollars to buy you, y'all not healthy. Y'all weren't healthy, which means y'all didn't do y'all's due diligence before you bought them. Okay, so now they're trying to figure out how they can get rid of them. So just let that be a thought for anyone. So if you need a quick inspirational message, that is, just because you can doesn't mean you should, especially without doing your due diligence, for real. All right, y'all got to just pump this up real quick, because it is happening tomorrow. It's happening actually right now. Y'all, Yahoo Finance is reporting. Have y'all heard of Nvidia yet? If you don't, you need to know. Nvidia now overtakes Apple as the world's second most valuable company, as market capitalization passes $3 trillion. Y'all, that's with a T, dollars. Yeah, the shares of Nvidia, it climbed more than 5% on yesterday, reaching a record high of $1,224.40. That's what pushed the company up to 3 trillion. They think they can get to 2 by Friday. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I hope so. But that's what they're saying. Anyway, the stock advance pushed Nvidia past Apple. So of course, Apple's trying to figure out how they're going to come back and get their second place. And who's up? Who's up top? Microsoft is in the number one spot. Most people didn't know that. I didn't know that either until Kim Edmondson got me into all this. So, y'all, that's the U.S. stock market. That's what's happening. So, do you have shares of Nvidia? Not right now. It's too late to buy them because it's way, way expensive. But if you got it like that, roll with it, go do it. But come tomorrow, come Friday, and everybody's waiting for Friday. Who's holding Nvidia shares of stock right now? Because on tomorrow, June 7th, they're doing a 10-to-1 split. That means you get 10-to-1 of every share you already have. Y'all, this is how we can overtake our communities. Stop with all the cars. Stop with all the Chanel, Louis, Gucci bags. Stop with all the red bottoms, because those things hurt your feet anyway. Stop with all of that stuff. Stop with all of it. Start investing in the stock market. Start understanding economics. And by the way, at 2 p.m. Eastern time today, Chairman Powell's going to come out and let us know if we're getting rate cuts or not. So if the rate cuts happen, which everybody's hoping it will, you'll see houses start selling again. You'll see some things start happening. Just you got to wait and see. If that happens today, Nvidia will reach 2,000 by tomorrow. If you see this happen, a lot of stock will just take off. Financial institutions, everything. Imagine if you had a piece of that pie and then you can reinvest that money back into the community. Let me share something with you as I'm going into the inspirational message. Oh, by the way, don't ignore AMD and don't ignore Intel. And I am not giving you financial advice, investment advice, stock advice. I'm not giving you anything. I want you to read this for yourself. But I started thinking, y'all, and I'm now into the inspirational message. I started thinking, Latrice, I hope you're still on here. Hester, hopefully you're still here. Kim, all of y'all. I'm calling out their names because we've had these kind of conversations before. So I started thinking, I said, wow, it's too bad I waited till I was 58 to start really looking into stocks and investments and all those things. And I said, but now that I'm here, God, as long as you have me living, what can I do to help? And so I'm going back to the Fearless Fund. That thing has bothered me. And I really hope I can get them onto News in Motion, somebody to talk about it. But I started thinking, okay, what can we do? What can we do? What's our part? And there's so many organizations, Black, white, Latino, Hispanic, LGBTQIA, just all of them. There's so many people who have some of the most phenomenal ideas. What can we do? What can we do? And I said, well, if we had the capital to do things and we came together in a nonpartisan way, Supreme Court couldn't say what we're doing is discriminatory because we're already made up that way. We're already made up that way, but we have to be like mind. We need to get rid of the socioeconomic status rule. We need to get rid of the education rule. We need to get rid of all these different rules. And Hester says, never too late to invest. Let me tell you, you are correct. And I thought, well, what could we do? Latrice Jones, where are you? To buy up some school buildings. What can we do? And make those school buildings multifunctional where you have all of these new startup companies working within that building, but we're funding it. We're funding it. Y'all, that's what we can do. Like, if we just stop with all the shenanigans of, I need this, I need to be up here with the Joneses. Yeah, everybody needs to read, what is it? Whether in his politics or not ours, most of ours here, but Rich Man, Poor Man. We all need to buy that book and read it. We also need to read The Millionaire Next Door. We need to read that book, The Millionaire Next Door and Rich Dad, Poor Dad. 2 books. Read them. Read them. Read them. Rich Man, Poor Man. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and The Millionaire Next Door. Read those books. But if we started acquiring Hester with the hotel started acquiring these things. Red Lobster started acquiring Red Lobster. If we started to do through investments, educational programs for children, and I believe that every educational system need to go back to where the students buy Wall Street Journal. Kim Edmondson, my mom reminded me of that when I was in elementary school in sixth grade. At that time, sixth grade was in elementary school. We had to buy a subscription to Wall Street Journal. That was a class. That was a class. And I guess I never paid attention to that class. I wish I would have now. But that was a class that we start teaching these things at a younger age. And we start helping them build up to say, okay, you're going to become a philanthropist, and get them to identify the areas they want to give in now. And it's not too late for us. So my inspirational message is this. Your mindset. What do you plan to do? Where do you need to make some adjustments? Because even yesterday, when I was watching all this stuff going on with Nvidia, I started thinking, wow, because I was seeing some people doing some cutthroat things like, y'all do this? This is legal. Yes, it's legal. And then I had to stop myself and say, is my response due to a poverty mentality or a scarcity mentality? Like, why won't I go in and say, okay, let me do an option of Nvidia? I did it before. So did the numbers change and it scared me to do it? Like, why? What prevented me? What stopped me? Even if I went, which I would have had to do that anyway, way out of the money. And that's a whole option stock trading thing. In the money, at the money, high, low, lower lows, higher highs, all of that stuff. Yeah, I learned it all. So it's like, is this a scarcity mentality or a poverty mentality? And as people, it's time for us to get to the root of this to find out why. Believe it or not, all of this is connected to politics and all these political things. It is connected to voting. How do I know that? At 2 p.m. Eastern time today, Chairman Powell, who says he doesn't want to make it political, if the rates drop, if there's a rate cut, the boards will go green. Green means money. All right. Green mean increase. Green means people will be making money. If the rate cut doesn't happen, those boards are going to go red. They're going to go red. And people are going to be upset. They're going to hold on to their money. The job report was excellent by my side. But what I saw, because the jobs report came out this week for May. The job report came out. Well, the numbers kind of like this, what they call it consolidating or channeling. And I was like, why are they channeling? Why are they consolidating? Because although people are working, it really does mess up the economy. It messes up inflation. I was like, so y'all don't want people to work? So y'all, as they're even running on their platform, more jobs for Americans. Well, Wall Street don't want you to have more jobs because it messes up the flow of the economy. Y'all, this is making so much sense, and it's time for us to understand it so that we too can work with this. Y'all, seriously, we're missing a lot. And let me squash this lie right now. You don't even need $1,000 to go in a stock market. You don't even need $500. You don't even need $250. You can start with $25. And what you would be doing is getting a piece of the share. And if you're taking it out of your paycheck, again, I'm not giving you financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not licensed. I'm telling you what I've learned on my own, okay? And what I've learned from people who know this field. And I'm so excited because I'm connecting it with politics, which is my thing, okay? So you can enter in, and like if you're getting a withdrawal, you can do this through your IRA. If you're getting a withdrawal, and each month or each pay or whatever, it goes in there. And eventually, before you know it, you now have a whole share. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. And then you decide if you're going to hold on to that share, or if it goes up, you sell it and then you come back and get 2 more or 3 more or 4 more or 5 more or whatever. Y'all, this is how we can rebuild and do what we do and really give back to the community. There's ways of doing this. So the inspirational message is, let's look at that mindset and let's say, how can I contribute to this world today with everything that's going on? All right, let me see what y'all are saying. Lori says, I'm down with that for sure. Hester says, syndication, let's do it. Listen, let's do it. Marion says, what can we do to make a difference? Kim Edmonds says, it's never too late. Message your mindset. Message, what's your mindset? Listen, y'all, we got to keep working. We got to keep going at it. We do. I love what I do. I love y'all for hanging out with me. I really do appreciate you. Hey, I need a favor. If you have Inspire, come on, y'all. As soon as you sign off today, I don't care if you read one sentence. Please review this on Amazon today. Just say you can go in there and write one word. This was great work, or this was terrible work, or I love the book, or I don't like the book. Whatever it is, please go to Amazon today to review the book, and you do not have had to purchase it on Amazon to do that. So please do that. Thank you. Latrice Jones says, you're walking heavy, sis. Listen. Hester says it helps to build generational wealth. For y'all, for real. We gotta do something. We have to do something. We do. We cannot keep sitting back looking and having these conversations. We cannot. It's time for, and we can do it. We can do it. We really can. It takes a couple of people. That's what those when we talk about grassroots movements, that's what it is. It's just a few people. It's having conversations. It's not, everything is not walking down the street with a sign. Yeah, that's a part of it for some, but for others, it's just like having conversations. Yesterday, I was in a meeting. I had several meetings yesterday. I was like, why did I do my schedule like this? I had a meeting yesterday at 2:00. And it's with the executive director of a nonprofit organization. We were talking, and we started talking about investments. And he said, well, maybe that's what I need to do with our board. Maybe I need to go back to the board and say, hey, let's look at investing and using those investments to helping the community. Great conversation. And he left ready to go. Like, let's do this. And then, of course, he said, can you help me? I was like, I do whatever I can. I'm very careful now what I'm joining, but I'll do whatever I can. Like this conversation we had today, I can continue to have conversations and give ideas. But y'all, it starts with the conversation. And if you're excited about it, we have homes in the inner city, Columbus, Ohio, that are boarded up. Slowly, they're starting to make changes, but they're boarded up. Well, we want to complain when certain people buy them. Why don't we buy them? And do you have to live here to buy it? Can you imagine? Okay, y'all got time, I got time. And if you got to go, just go, whatever. I don't care. I got time. Isaiah's like, I'm not at the office, so Isaiah can hang out with me for a little while longer. But listen, I'm making that assumption, Isaiah, if you got to go, I understand. But listen. Yes, I went to see the movie Sex and the City. All right, yes, I did. Actually, it's a good movie. 1 and 2. I wish they did it 3. And in 2, Carrie Bradshaw, I don't know what her name is on the thing. But anyway, she is getting married to Biggs, right? And they got a lavish penthouse in Manhattan or whatever. But she wanted to keep her townhome, her apartment. She did, but she turned it into what we call today Airbnb. This is a movie. This is fictional. She turned it into an Airbnb where when the women just needed to get away, they had a place to get away. Even then, I thought about, man, and I was out with my friends to see that movie, all women. We talked about it afterwards. And I said, imagine if we bought an apartment in downtown Columbus, a condo, and we just all went in. And Kim Edmonds, I think you were part of this conversation. We just all went in. And as the person who needs it, say, you know what, y'all, I just need a break from my husband. He's getting on my nerves. I need a break from my kids. I just need a break from my house. I'm just tired of seeing the same 4 walls. Well, you go down to the apartment, spend the weekend, have some mimosas, put your feet up, watch Netflix, read magazines, walk around button naked, whatever you need to do for yourself. We're just investing in this. And if none of us need it, we put it on the market for the management system for people to rent it out. Y'all, that was when that movie took place. We had that conversation. Sarah Jessica Parker, thank you. And her Carrie Bradshaw was the fictional name, right? Thank you, Lori. So y'all, even with that, can y'all imagine us if we did investments like that? And we did investments and said, okay, we're going to help transition. This comes from London, England. I was in London, England speaking before the pandemic. We were with the Ministry Department, Ministry of Development Department or something, I don't know. And their system blows me away. I'm like, why can't we do that here in America? And what they did, a single parent, once they have the child, they're no longer in the homeless system or the orphanage system or whatever. They set them up in an apartment for 18 months. They pay all their utilities, all their food, all their education, the diapers, everything. Everything's paid for, but they're being educated on how to live and how to make money. They get a job, they get clothes, they get set up in an apartment afterwards. But for those 18 months, all they're doing is saving and learning. I said, y'all do what? What? They pay all the medical bills, everything. Why can't we do that here in America? Why can't we do that here for each other? Why aren't the churches doing this? I thought, wow. So y'all, as I'm seeing this, and it all started with Fearless Fund, those Black women out of Atlanta, y'all did some phenomenal work, and I hope you can continue to do it however you need to do it. But it has me thinking, y'all, what can we do? I am really tired of talking about it. It's time for us to do something. It's time for us to do something. Hester says buying real estate is essential to building wealth. Deb says Deb is driving. Deb, where are you driving to? Lori says facts. Yeah, there is so much that we can do. We can do, even down to food insecurity, taking care of one family and say, okay, for the next 12 months, we're going to supply your food. No alcohol, none of that, but we're going to supply your food. Y'all, something that small, which is really huge. We have to stop thinking what we're doing does not equate or equal to what somebody else is doing, and just start doing it. Buying somebody's books every quarter while they're in college for 4 years. Like, we'll do this for 4 years. If you have to go 5, you can reapply, whatever, but we're going to do it for 4 years. Someone who needs clothes to go to a job, you just got out of college, you don't have any family, we're going to come alongside you and do clothes. Y'all, there's so many things that we can do. There's so many things that we can do. We can turn these vacant school buildings, again, into multi-use buildings for all these startup companies. Or maybe it's a place where you're teaching barbering or salon or hairstyling or art or whatever, and then you sell it at a high price because you know your worth and you're valuing your work. All right, y'all, this is my thing. This is my lane. Y'all know it. This is my inspiration. I want to pour into people and share with people. We got to do something. We have to. All right, y'all, until Tuesday, I am your host, Gail Dudley. This has been News in Motion. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Hester says, never despise the day of small beginnings. You have to start someone. Deborah says she's almost to Atlanta. Oh, you are driving. Okay, girl, go on with you. Be safe out there. We're going to pray you home safely. Be safe out there. Y'all know what I say, everyone. Stay well. And remember, make some bold moves. We're out.
NewsInMotion.